Who are you?
A friend.
So that was the line that, to me, defines who Superman is.
Superman!
He's a friend.
I mean, what else are friends for?
No matter how serious, silly, or heartfelt the adaptation, Superman has always been, above all else, a friend.
You really shouldn't smoke, Miss Lane.
But this didn't start with Christopher Reeve. The character has a long and at times tragic legacy on the big screen. And today, we're going to look at how the character of Superman has developed over the years.
Superman, you're wonderful. How did you know we were in trouble?
From his very earliest depictions into his defining chapter,
Right.
before being completely reinvented and then brought back to his roots.
Stay.
This is the story of one of the most influential characters ever put to screen.
I don't know who you are. Just a friend from another star.
So friendship.
A friend.
It's when he saves a cat from a tree,
Here you go, miss.
or lets a kid experience flying.
You want to go on the roller coaster?
Superman not only protects us from harm, but makes us feel good about ourselves.
Saved my life.
You're very glad to shake your hand.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
But despite this simple ethos, when it comes to modern cinema, Superman has never really had the staying power of other heroes. Obviously we have Christopher Reeve, who is iconic, but his movies are kinda dated and half of them aren't very good.
I will hurt people.
Henry Cavill never really got the stories or screen time he deserved.
No one stays good in this world.
And we have James Gunn's movie, but it's too soon to assess its long-term impact. Meanwhile, Batman has had multiple successful franchises and Spider-Man has dominated the box office ever since 2002. But even with his limited success on the big screen, Superman's influence not only on comic book movies, but film in general,
My favorite superhero.
is immense.
Superman.
Lois could never have Superman's baby.
You think Mighty Mouse could beat up Superman?
So let's go back to the beginning. No, not Christopher Reeve and Richard Donner, but the first ever time Superman was adapted to the screen.
It's a plane! It's Superman!
So it's 1941. Superman debuted in the comics 3 years ago, and now he's been adapted to the screen in these animated shorts. They're about 10 minutes long, and are basically comprised of a rising threat in the first half, and Superman saving the day in the second.
Looks like a job for Superman.
And it was during World War II, so there's a fair amount of propaganda content. A certain Austrian dictator even makes an appearance.
Submarines was destroyed by American dive bombs.
And these shorts, while having pretty simple storylines, contributed a great deal to the Superman mythos. Like the opening line, which has basically become the character's catchphrase.
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
But it also introduced changing costumes in a phone booth, and perhaps one of the most important parts of Superman's powers, flight. Because before this, he could only ever jump great distances.
Tall buildings at a single bound.
But the animators thought this looked a bit silly, so they made him fly, unknowingly creating a superhero staple.
Yeah, I can fly.
And Superman's flight has developed a lot over the years. So how did we go from this to this? For his first live-action adaptation, the 1948 serials with Kirk Allen, the technology wasn't really there, so they just replaced him with a cartoon. And honestly, I think it's kinda cool. The first time a live-action Superman properly took to the skies was George Reeves in 1952's Adventures of Superman. Again, technology was pretty limited, so they had Reeves jump off a springboard and then cut to him against a projected background.
The Adventures of Superman!
But it was a low-budget production and had its limitations. He could only ever fly perfectly horizontal, and the action was pretty lackluster. But all of these problems would be solved about 20 years later, when Superman had his first big budget production in his first big screen movie.
Superman 1 was the first film to make big screen, Dolby stereo, convincing special effects, and to try to make this sort of real.
Try and make it real. That was the goal of 1978's Superman the movie. Because at the time, when people thought of live-action comic book stories, they didn't think of Superman's previous shows. They thought of this.
Have a sneeze on me, Batman!
Essentially just a big joke.
Holy Benedict Arnold, Susie!
But Superman the movie was the first time filmmakers treated superheroes with a straight face. It was in a relatively realistic world, but still kept the comic book elements that made it fun.
Good evening, Officer Mooney.
I take him dead seriously when I play him. I mean, I play it as though it's absolutely real.
Well, they say confession's good for the soul.
They cast high-profile, well-respected actors like Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman.
Some people can read War and Peace and come away thinking it's a simple adventure story.
It had truly state-of-the-art effects. Like the tagline says, you'll believe a man can fly.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
And John Williams' score just dials everything up to 11. It set the blueprint for what superhero films would be.
Superman.
They're fun and at times silly, but always anchored in the real world.
I think it's a story about a real man who flies.
And this dedication to realism can be seen in the first time we see Christopher Reeve fly. Straight away, he breaks the formula of only flying completely straight. He's coming towards us and then past the camera all in one take without any cuts.
I'd be handling the flying if that's okay.
The camera is steady and he effortlessly moves through the air. For this Superman, flying is as easy as walking.
One of the things we were trying for was to make it so casual that you don't even notice it.
We can see him smile, frown, looking left to right. Because the camera can get up close and personal, we really do believe a man can fly.
But I've been able, I think, to stay alive in these special effects sequences by my own love of flying and my own care about acting.
So this is how he behaves in the air.
Going down.
But what's he like as a character? What does this Superman actually get up to? But before we answer that, we need to look at the characters who surround Superman.
Is that how a warped brain like yours gets its kicks?
Like Lex
By
Luthor.
planning the death of innocent people?
No, by causing the death of innocent people.
His plan in this film is to hack into the military's missile system, reroute a nuclear weapon to trigger a fault line and sink the California coast. Also, his desert real estate becomes beachfront property.
Costa del X, Lutherville, Marina del X.
It's pure manipulation, exploiting systems to profit off regular people who never saw it coming.
Millions of innocent people would be killed.
And in 2025, that kind of behaviour has moved online. Which is why this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Just like Luthor wanted to reshape the map for his own benefit, modern companies and bad actors try to reshape your internet, tracking your data, restricting your content and profiting off your privacy. And if you're in the UK like me, making you upload your driver's license to get access to certain sites.
Driver's license, registration, insurance, and fitness certificate, please.
Surfshark stops all of that. It encrypts your connection, keeps your data safe, and even lets you virtually change locations to access content worldwide. Just go to surfshark.com/Archer or use code Archer at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN with a 30-day money-back guarantee. After he reveals himself to the world by saving Lois Lane, we get a montage of Superman doing superhero stuff.
Hi there. Something wrong with the elevator?
He catches criminals, stops a plane crash, and even saves a cat from a tree.
Gee, thanks, mister.
It's 10 minutes of Superman not only being a superhero,
Who are you?
but a friend.
Remember that the basic ingredient of Superman is that he's a friend.
He has the smile, the warmth, the familiarity.
I don't know how to thank you.
These films focus less on the physicality of the role and more on the heart of the character.
Oh, you just did that wonderful lunch.
It's the qualities that he exhibits that people can identify with. You know, he's really a gentleman.
And even though Richard Donner would be forced out the franchise and later sequels became a bit too slapstick, Christopher Reeve's performance never wavers.
There you go.
Again!
That's the value that's the most important to me.
No, I'm sorry. Only one ride to a customer.
Is not Superman as a muscle man, but Superman as a friend, a really good neighbor.
He would star in 3 more movies, and for those of you who haven't seen them, here's some of the stuff Superman gets up to in 2, 3, and 4.
You are Superman, aren't you?
Where's Superman? Hey, where is he? Why doesn't he do something?
In Superman 2, he gives up his powers for a normal life with Lois Lane. Zod is the main villain, and he launches this weird cellophane S.
What is the story with that cellophane S that Superman rips off his chest?
Richard Donner was forced out mid-production. Richard Lester was brought in to finish the movie with some reshoots. It's why the tone is a bit muddled, switching from more earnest Donner stuff
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Sorry I've been away so long.
to more slapstick Lester stuff.
Typical New Yorkers like,
In Superman 3, Richard Lester had full control, hiring Richard Pryor, and the film is basically a slapstick comedy. It's got some interesting moments, like evil Superman fixing the Leaning Tower of Pisa or putting out the Olympic flame, and it all ends in a big fight with a computer.
Never underestimate the power of computers.
Superman 4 had a much lower budget, meaning they had to reuse this shot at least 4 times. And in the film, Superman fights another evil clone, rebuilds the Great Wall of China, and gets rid of the world's nuclear weapons.
I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
But after this, it was clear the series was running out of steam. And 9 years after it began, the Superman franchise was put to bed.
And the word is out that your character's evolution, because of your portrayal, is affecting the DC Comics.
Christopher Reeve basically defined who Superman was going forward. Every actor to play him for the next 30 years followed the blueprint he created. He was Superman.
They told me a while ago that they're now writing
Superman based on the way I play him in the movies. So
Superman Returns was explicitly designed to be a spiritual successor to the original movies.
I know some people are asking a lot of questions now that I'm back.
With Brandon Routh playing the bumbling Clark Kent and the confident Superman in line with Reeve's depiction.
You know, there must be a lot of questions about me that people in the world would like to know the answer.
On TV, there was a Superboy show, Lois and Clark and Smallville, all looking at Superman at different points in his life, but all channeling the mantra of friendship that Reeve embodied.
Did you really used to be scared?
Of course. Everyone gets scared.
But in 2008, something massive happened to the superhero genre. The Dark Knight.
I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
Suddenly, more grounded stories became the norm. We no longer wanted our hero in a colourful costume with cheesy one-liners.
I never lie.
Filmmakers asked themselves, what would a superhero in the real world actually be like?
What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
And the answer they gave us? Man of Steel.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
Henry Cavill's Superman was a radical departure from the blueprint of Christopher Reeve. He wasn't this self-assured all-American hero. He was a man grappling with the immense powers he was given.
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
When we first see Christopher Reeve as Superman, he's already a fully fledged hero.
I certainly hope this little incident hasn't put you off flying, miss.
But in Man of Steel, we spend more time learning about Superman's powers, testing his limits and doing good deeds before he steps into the suit. It's an origin story with a capital O.
What's the S stand for?
On my world, it means hope.
And even once he's in the suit, he's not a perfect hero. The main criticism of the film is how destructive the final battle is. The city is basically leveled. This was a massive step away from the gentler, less action-orientated depictions that came before. You can't imagine Christopher Reeve doing this. Visually, it's completely different. Obviously, it looks like a 2010s film rather than a 70s film, with darker shadows and more muted colours, especially in the suit.
Nice suit, son.
We see him fly in extreme wide shots, and he falls out of frame as if the camera is struggling to keep up. Every time he takes off, there's a massive sonic boom. For the first time, technology allowed us to feel the raw power of Superman like never before. The ground swells around him as he flies, and every punch has a shockwave. This Superman is less of a big blue Boy Scout, and more of a weapon of mass destruction. And this is the main departure from previous incarnations. Snyder was never really interested in Superman as a friend, but rather as a god.
God is all-powerful. He cannot be all good.
And this is his main characterization after Man of Steel. Batman v Superman is essentially about how the world reacts to the emergence of this all-powerful alien. The actual character of Superman is sidelined in favor of his status as a godlike figure.
We're not even special in the entire universe because there is Superman.
And of course, he dies, killing the character before we really got to know him. Snyder's Superman was the darkest take on the character yet, and whether or not you like the execution of it, he was at least trying something new.
Does your thing really stand for hope?
Henry Cavill undoubtedly looks the part, but I feel like after Man of Steel, we didn't get enough time with him to see him truly develop. He never felt like an ordinary, everyday Superman.
Bruce said something about you having to take us all to brunch?
It was made in a time when moodier and grounded superhero stories were the norm. He's very much a Superman for the 2010s.
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it.
And this has pretty much always been the case. Superman in the 1950s was more of a moral guardian than a fighter.
After this, keep out of other people's safes.
Christopher Reeve bridged the idealism of the 1950s with a more humanized, emotional version of Superman.
What can I do to help?
He brought a depth and warmth to the character. He was inspiring, but relatable.
Not much of anything now. If only you'd got here a minute sooner.
Whether it be George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, the animated versions, and now David Corenswet, each Superman reflects the era he comes from.
How do we know you won't one day act against America's interests?
He's a character of almost unlimited power. The question, therefore, is how do you make him interesting?
Grew up in Kansas, General. About as American as it gets.
Do you frame him as a moral anchor? Do you infuse him with a kind of hopeful sincerity? Or do you delve deeper into his status as a god amongst men?
Superman was never real. Just the dream of a farmer from Kansas.
Regardless of what path you go down, I think this quote summarizes who Superman is.
I just wish you could all see the Earth the way that I see it.
He's an all-powerful alien, but most importantly, a friend.
Because when you really look at it, it's just one world.